Okay, hi everyone. Guess what time it is? It is time for some Mini Mayhem. It is Wednesday. I am very much looking forward to today. It is a very busy day in Dungeons and Dragons land. For those of you new here, hi, I am the Muse. I will be your host for this afternoon. And let me just quickly adjust the music ever so slightly. I really honestly cannot wait for today. Some very cool things have cropped up and come about. And I'm sure many of you have questions about a certain particular lady, not me, in the Dungeons and Dragons lore. And yes, we will be talking about her too. So it's one of those things where I'm seeing everyone jumping in, where it's lovely to see everyone already getting excited. So hello to everyone in the chat who was actually waiting ahead of time. Hello to those of you who are just joining us. Don't forget, I have this lovely thing going on over here on the sidebar. We're streaming both to YouTube and to Twitch at the same time. So if you want to be able to interact with each other, that's where you look at the chat here on the screen with me. Or you can focus on the chat that you're in, whether you are on Twitch or if you are on YouTube. Both are perfectly acceptable. Why not? Go for it. Don't forget, if you haven't yet, by all means, please feel free to subscribe or follow, depending on where you are. I'm happy to say that the YouTube channel is now over 10,000 strong. And I just took a look over at Twitch and we just crested into 900 plus followers. So that's another one that we're getting close to, almost to that 1,000 followers over on Twitch. So I'm very excited to see that one happening. And that is all because of you and you're getting word out and joining us for our shows. It is absolutely fantastic and wonderful. And I am so excited about that. Quick little housekeeping stuff here before we get started. If you have a question and you would like me to answer it, first of all, I will do the very best I can to respond to your questions, depending on what I know. But you want to make sure you're typing in all caps question with your question following. That makes it a lot easier for me to see what's happening here on the chat and to catch your question sooner. From there, don't forget that after I am done here, I always make a point to go back in and update the descriptions so that if there are links, if there's information that we talked about that isn't ready and in the description as it is, please do come back and check that out. The other thing is I am always going to promote and always going to say and always going to stress, please be sure that for anything you are seeing or hearing about today, that you reach out to your local game store, or I like to call them your FLGS. That's my quick little shorthand, your friendly local game store. It's one of those things where there are still many doing things, even though, yes, many are keeping in terms of lockdown and social distancing and everything like that. If you're not sure of where there might be a local game store near you that carries WizKids products, all you need to do is go to wizkids.io/local store. Or there's another link that floats around now that we have going with Linktree. You could go to wizkids.io/WK Linktree, and that actually takes you to all of our relevant links, including shops, stores, and socials and channels. So that's another link that you could put to use if you would like. So yeah, like I said before, this is D&D Day for very good reasons. Show of hands, let's see happy faces. Who saw the news come out on Monday? Thanks to IGN. Let's see. Who knows exactly what I'm going to tap into first, because I have been getting lots and I'm not complaining. I'm actually cracking up, quite frankly, what has happened to my DMs over the past couple days. I have been getting lots and lots of questions about this particular bit of news that got shared early Monday morning. Thank you to IGN ever so much for that coverage. But yes, in case you missed it, in case you didn't see it, Tengu Matt, we are absolutely going to be addressing this. Tiamat, you have all been asking about this ever since Arviataris was a thing. And yes, we have a lovely lady who will be joining us in the ranks, and that is Tiamat in Gargantuan size. So if you missed that, yeah, go over to IGN. In fact, check our socials out from last night. There's a post that went out with a link and everything. Tiamat, Gargantuan size Tiamat, she is something that is available for pre-order now, expected in September. Okay, so there's a little bit of time in terms of when she will physically be here, but her news is out in the wild. She is released. People know she is going to be a thing, and what a thing she is. So first I wanted to make sure that I address the fact that you can place your pre-orders now. if you would like to add I've been calling her Big Mama just for my own reference, but if you'd like to add Tiamat to your collection of dragons, hey, now's your chance. Not even kidding. It's one of those things where people have been asking me how soon do they need to get their pre-orders in. Well, let's talk about that. Get your pre-orders in sooner rather than later if you want to be able to make sure you're getting this first wave. But I am happy to say that this is something that will go into reprint, especially because we are keeping an eye on demand with this. This is something that is not going to specifically be limited release, special time only, anything like that. But if you want to get her in the first round, I do highly encourage you to act soon if you'd like to place a pre-order for her for the September 1st release. That makes sense? You following me there, my darlings? So that is something I absolutely would want to be sure you are aware of. That yes, she's available for pre-order. Yes, we will be doing reprints because quite frankly, the response has been fantastic about her. Not surprised though. The response has been so great that she is definitely something that we will keep looking into for reprints. But if you are excited for it and you want to make sure you're in that first wave, pre-order sooner rather than later. But they are opened now. And I am seeing a lot of questions already. We're going to talk about her dimensions soon, Kay Calkins. I love her, but where would I put her? Wherever you could find a spot for her, Arg Scott. I will, if I have to, I will clear a full shelf out for her and just give her her own little cave of a shelf, if that is what I have to do. And then let's see here. Now, keep in mind, Brandon Dudley, we do also have, and we're going to talk about that, there is also the Tyranny of Dragons Tiamat form, which right now it will be coming out again. You can go to dndmini.com or you can check with your local game store, see if they have it in stock, because this is already out there. But the Tyranny of Dragons Tiamat, which is a smaller size, but is a little bit more budget friendly, that will be coming back out in reprint soon. So you could always go to dndmini.com and catch it on a back order, and then once it comes back out in availability, you will then get your smaller scaled Tiamat. And like I said, we're going to take a look at that as well, so you can see this. So she's definitely a hot topic. And let's see here. Yeah, I'm opening up with Tiamat, Jonna, because there's just no way. If I didn't mention her, they're going to just keep asking about her. So you know what? Let's just start talking about her. I have some fun things pulled together for you, just some information and bits like that. And like I said, questions you have, I'm going to do my absolute best. Well, they're over here. I'm going to do my absolute best to answer them for you. I've been, not crunching the numbers, but I've been cramming all this information in that I could get pulled together, especially seeing the response over the past couple days to this. So let's take a look, first of all, at the lovely spinning shot that we have of her. So let me make this clear. This is a render of Tiamat, okay? So this is what she'll look like right now based upon the renders we have of her. She is a thing of beauty. I have a thing for dragons. This is obviously. And it's one of those things where I checked into it and there will be a sample for me to show you down the line. Keep in mind, again, she's expected in September. So let's dial it back a couple months from September. So hopefully midsummer, I will have a miniature of her to show you. Okay, so right now, this is what I have to share with you is the render of her. And I like this video so you can kind of see her all around. And it's one of those things where you can kind of get all sides. And again, sample midsummer-ish around that time. Don't hold me to it because again, we still have to get things pulled together, but there are intentions to, yes, have a miniature here to show you. So this is the spinning render of her, which if you went to IGN, you saw this as well. Hello, Morphenius. Yes, hello, Tiamat. And again, trust me, folks, I very much understand that budgets and everything like that, especially, keep in mind, this is not something where it is a limited edition, okay? It's something where if you wanted to squirrel away, save up, or, maybe mention it to your players as a DM, things like that. It's not something where you have to act now, you're never going to get it again. That's not going to be the case here. You will be able to have a chance at it later. It's just if you want to get this first out of the box type of thing, you do need to make sure you're working on your pre-orders, getting those in sooner rather than later. And again, if you have questions for me, please make sure you put into caps questions so that I can see your questions a lot faster. In terms of Bahamut, depending on how you want to pronounce it, because everyone does their own thing, keep in mind, we have so many things sort of floating around there for the next few years, quite frankly. We are working with WotC. We have concepts going into the back catalog, going with new things that are coming in development. So I can't speak to what is exactly, going to be happening and what to exactly, expect. But don't rule anything out. Okay, there's a lot of very cool, very fun things that are in the works that people are thinking about and people are working on designs. I personally can't speak to this is definitely a thing, that is definitely a thing, just because it's still in product development. I don't want to get hopes up and then for some reason maybe it falls off the pipeline, that type of thing. But there are a lot of cool things that are in process that I think people are going to be excited about. It's just right now, it's still too fresh. Hopefully that helps you out there. But again, there's so many cool things out there in the lore of D&D, things that are going to be coming out, new things that have already been there. There's a lot happening. In terms of unpainted version, again, what I'm saying right now, don't rule anything out. There's a lot that's being explored right now. We are looking at how she is being received and the reception we are getting for her in her pre-painted form. So there's that. And also, yes, Jonathan Rice, thank you for bringing up the chromatic line. There was some concern about the green dragon. The green dragon is still happening. Adult green dragon will still be coming out. We're doing the full chromatic line of the adult dragons that are all for $69.99. The adult green is looking towards end of June, early July. So yes, the green dragon will be happening. The adult green dragon will be coming, not to worry. Okay, I saw some people over on socials, but what about the green? Because we did announce her before the green. Green is happening. Green will be there, green will be happening, and then we'll be shifting over to metallics. Basically, if you like dragons, stick around. Let's put it that way. Okay, let me just look here. I do very much like the render. Let's see. Oh, hello, Leonardo. Thank you for joining. You'd like to see, oh geez. I mean, I have painted Tiamat in the past, but not this one. But could you imagine? That would be like a few months of these going, that's for sure. All right, if I have missed your question, my apologies. You can always plug it back in again. So this is the render that I wanted to show you of her spinning around, doing her thing, but I do have some more for you. So let's talk about, since it was brought up, we have the Tyranny of Dragons Tiamat, which is right now currently on back order, but it will be coming back out as a reprint. They are two different Tiamats. We want to make sure that is very, very clear, okay? But this also shows you the difference in scale. All right. So if you still want to have a miniature of Tiamat, just, more compact, the Tyranny of Dragons version will be coming back out again. Check with your FLGS. Again, go back over to dndmini.com and take a look, and you can place your back order so that when it's available, you can then get it. That one's a little bit more budget friendly at $59.99. And check also with your game stores, because sometimes they might even have promotional deals and everything like that, what have you. But the Tiamat that we've announced with IGN that is coming out in September, that is available for pre-order, not back order, as you can see, is a very different size. Okay? She's significant. Okay? She has a presence to her, and we're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna go into V-scale. It's basically, I'm gonna show you on my own physical form to give you a sense of really how big this miniature, and I love the fact that people are going like maxature. This is what I've been seeing as reactions on socials, and it's cracking me up. What else was floating around there? But I'm loving all like the play on miniatures, and the whole debate is like, when does a mini stop being a mini? I mean, she's still technically to scale. She's not life size yet, so she's still a miniature form, right? But yeah, so here we go. I'm gonna flip over to, I'm looking at, I'm sorry, but chat, I am loving your reactions. This is fantastic. This is wonderful, and this is why I wanted to be sure you saw this image, okay? Because this really does show you It's not, oh, they're different. They are very different ones. She is significant. Yeah. So now let me flip over to this one. So here we're getting to the nitty gritty measurements. And it's very easy to throw around inches and everything like that. And that is a soda can. Hold on, tea. We're going to sip some tea. Not that I'm spilling some tea, but I do need to sip some tea. You don't need a banana for scale. You just need a V for scale, because here we go. Now, in terms of scale, that is a soda can, classic soda can, regardless of brand. But I'm going to, use my own measurements here to give you a sense of what her size truly is. So I'm actually going to go back to the overhead, because this is not going to give you the best sense. So we're going back to overhead here. Hi. Okay. And I also have Arviatres here with me to the side as a means of showing you the difference between even Arvi and Tiamat. So in terms of how tall Tiamat is going to stand, let me scoot back here. She is literally, her height on me is from my underarm to my wrist. Okay, so let me slouch. That's, that's about 17 inches there, folks. Okay, that height, that's including the wings, okay? Then, wingspan, when I read, hold on, we're gonna flip back over to that one. If you look at that wingspan, 28.9 inches is literally my inseam. I'm not kidding. So, here we go. So if you want her wingspan, basically, look at this. I have to lean back. Her wingspan is tip of my finger to here on me. Okay, this is her wingspan. Hi. She's a big girl. She is, that's just it. That's why I wanted to make sure that people got a sense of scale of her on me. Because it's, it's like, yes, oh, soda can, other mini, everything like that. But, I mean, I'm going to pick up this figure. We're going to call her a figure. I'm going to pick up this figure and I'm going to need help just to hold her up. But yeah, this is from here, from where I'm pointing, basically where my crystals are hanging on my necklaces. So from my crystals to the tip of my middle finger, I'm not going to flip you the bird, don't worry. That's her wingspan, people. Literally, like, length of my leg. Oh, you get to see my socks. Length of my leg. Like, hello. She is, burring. Yeah, I'm already, like, between her and the yawning portal, I'm definitely going to have to figure out my studio setup. Like, we might have to make some slight adjustments here, literally. Yeah, she is big. Like I said, I've been calling her Big Mama for a reason. She is a big mama. Question, so how does the release of Tiamat figures do? Well, I have a lovely camera. The camera has been wonderful. That has been fantastic. And we're going to put it to good use soon. We're not going to dwell on Tiamat too much longer. She is going to be substantial. But, we'll get this worked out. I am noticing over on Twitch, we're getting a little stuttering, which I'm not quite sure why that's happening, because everything's been smooth and fine for YouTube and my frame rate's okay on OBS. So if you're having some issues over on Twitch, you're welcome to come and join us over on YouTube. Not sure why that's happening, because I'm looking at my... Yeah, don't know why Twitch is doing that. And trust me, like I said, we are very much paying attention to the response that we are getting on Tiamat. So those of you saying, like, are we going to get the unpainted version? This is something I'm going to be mentioning after the stream. Like, hey, by the way, after we had some fun chatting about Tiamat, unpainted is coming up. So I can't promise you anything. All I can do is relay reactions and feedback that we are getting. So here we go again, folks. For sense of scale, just so you get an idea of the size of this beauty. If you look at the soda can as reference, that gives you a start of the scale. But she is height-wise, take it from point of my underarm to my wrist. And then for actual wingspan, it is, basically from where my crystal's hanging on my necklace to the tip of my finger over there. I have RV here with me because some people have seen RV and they've gotten a sense of scale because of her. And let me get out my measuring tape. Here we go. So this is essentially Tiamat. Don't you hate when that happens? This is essentially, I have to balance this right. This is essentially Tiamat's wingspan right now. And here's RV. Literally the wingspan's taking up my camera right now. Okay. Frame of reference. That's wingspan. And then, hold on. Let's scooch this down to halt. And here we go. All right. So that, she's going to be a significant miniature. Or maxiature, however you want to call this particular figure. She is significant in size, and that is something I wanted to be sure that I was just reading the chat. I wanted to be sure that you're all aware of when it comes to what we are expecting with Tiamat. She is truly going to make an impact when you either have her on display or put her on that table for your campaign. And to all the players who are going to encounter her, have fun! Really? That's all I can say about that one. So yeah, she's a beautiful creature. She really is. It's one of those things I'm excited for. Let me flip it back to the turnstile. Oh well, let's hide these two, and that way we can go back. So again, pre-order now. If you're interested in this particular one, you can contact your FLGS, Friendly Local Game Store. You can go to dndmini.com for that pre-order. Again, if you want a quick link to it, you can go over to whizkids.io/D&D Tiamat. That'll take you right to the pre-order on dndmini.com. If you're not sure about a local store near you, go to whizkids.io/local store, and that'll help you find a local store that carries WizKids products so that you can place your pre-order for Tiamat. Again, we're looking at September 2021 for her release as of now. If you want to stay up to date, if you want to make sure you're getting all the information and updates about Tiamat, as well as other products that we have coming down the pipeline, please be sure to follow all of our socials. This means Twitter, this means Instagram, this means Facebook, this means subscribing and following the YouTube channel, the Twitch channel. We did just kind of start getting TikTok going. TikTok is slowly getting into gear, but that's another one that is floating around out there now as well. So before we move on, I'm looking at all these chats. Are there any other questions that you may have about Tiamat before we flip over to some other announcements? This is where we're turning into Bueller. Bueller? Anyone else? Anything else? Otherwise, I'm going to bring it close to Big Mama because she's definitely had her time in the spotlight, but there's some other things I want to get to today because there's other cool stuff happening. So I'm going to take this, looking at the chat, to scale. Yep, Epic Dwarf. Yeah, we're switching from V Made Me Buy It to V Made Me Go Into Debt. Hey, apparently I am not the mother of dragons. I am the dealer of dragons these days. That's a very good question, Philarius. I am not sure about weight yet. We are not at that point where I can give you an actual weight of this figure. I can just give you the dimensions at this point. But it is a good question. So let's go to the main screen now. So, wrapping up Tia, as I like to call her. Tia and I, we've been having, some time together, chit-chatting and getting to know each other. But now Tia's gonna go and do her thing while we talk about some other stuff. Don't forget happening today, Boneyard, D&D Icons of the Realm Boneyard. That collection is out in stores and available. So you can see I have a few of these floating on behind me here. You have the green, here we go, the green Dracolich, the blue Dracolich, as well as the bricks and boosters. Those are all available now, and you also have those two special promo boxes. So if you want to get the Orc Skeleton promo box, this is while supplies last. This is something that is available in brick and mortar stores only. So you would need to contact a local store to find out what it is and how it is they are offering this. It is up to the discretion of each store as to how they are offering this particular promotional box. Now, the other one is the Cobalt Skeletons. This is D&D Mini exclusive. This is one of those things where when you place an order with Boneyard, while supplies last, again, while supplies last, you will then be getting one of these with your purchase. So if you want this D&D Mini, purchase Boneyard. If you want this, contact a local game store and find out what it is they are doing to offer this while supplies last for both. All right, both of them are while supplies last. Limited edition type of thing. Let me see here. Question, do I know when orders will ship from D&D Mini's WizKids site? Tengumat, that's a good question. We are doing the best we can with getting deliveries out. Keep in mind, do we really need to talk about what happened with the boat in the Suez Canal? Keep in mind, things are still interesting with deliveries just by the nature of what's happening in the world at large. So we appreciate your patience. We appreciate your understanding. Trust me, there are people working on getting shipments out as we can, as quickly as we can, but there does come a point where we can only do so much based upon what is happening with availability and what is out there with shipments and timing and everything like that. So we are doing our very best to get things your way. It's just there are some factors that are very much out of our control, because once it gets onto that truck, we have no idea what could happen. Like, you know, a boat getting stuck. So, oh God, we'll pun that one up. But things like that, they do come into play. And we do what we can for that. I'm being completely transparent with that one. We really do try. It's just interesting things are happening these days. And let me see here. Anything else question-wise that I missed? How do I ship one of those? I don't personally ship it. This is not a hand delivery from V. That's how they're going to get to you out there and into the wild and safe and sound. That's not my department, but rest assured, I know that they will be looking into it and getting things pulled together. So yes, Boneyard, don't forget, it is out today. Really a fantastic line. In fact, let's take a look. We're going to go back to the overhead, and I'm going to hide. Okay, darling, you are beautiful, you are lovely, but I'm actually going to hide you now. So let's take a quick look at a couple of my favorite ones. Where are you? So remember, this is the creepy crawly group. So this, you have your Sybrix. Like, this is one of my favorite ones. This, yeah, see, this one's already making me want to get like the gag reflex going. But lovely creepy crawly miniatures like this one. Remember, it is random pulls from the bricks. The bricks are 8 boosters, and then you can buy the boosters individually as well. In the boosters, you get a selection of 4 different figures. Huge, large, and then a small, 1 huge, large option, and then a small, medium of 3 factor going on here. So something like this particular fellow, and actually let me, if you're new here, I always toggle around with the cameras a little bit because of the various sizes of minis, which as you can see, we have various sizes of minis happening. I like to toggle these around. So let me see if I can get this just a little bit more in focus, because I want that to be just popping a little bit more here. Come on, honey. Ready for your close-up, Mr. DeMille? There we go. So that gives you a better idea of what this looks like. But I just love it, like the drippy ooze and everything like that. So definitely, this is like if you're doing a campaign with a bunch of creepy, ugly creatures and things like that, this is the one you want to do. Oh, I also like this one. This is one of my favorite ones, the Bone Whelk. This is another one you could potentially pull. And again, this is from if you get the brick or the booster for Boneyard. So that's another one. Let me see. Oh, the troll. This is the Rot Troll. Not to be confused with the Rock Troll, a Rot Troll. So again, another one of those pulls of the large variety from the bricks booster. So yeah, keep that in mind. That's Boneyard, out in stores now. Quite frankly, I think they are a fantastic addition to any miniature collection because of the flexibility and the variety you would get. Like, this could easily be, you could have a quick side encounter based on just one of these little critters type of thing. So, yes, absolutely, please. Question, any estimates on Boneyard in the UK? Okay, that's a very good question, East Gaming UK. Keep in mind, again, going back to what I have said about shipping, we are doing our best to try and get things to align back up together. But again, there are issues that are going on beyond our control. We are working on it. We are keeping it in mind, and we're doing what we can to sort of try and close that gap more and more. I don't have exact specific dates on it, though, unfortunately. Do I have? Yes, I do. I have that. It's a very good question. Okay, Calkins. Remember this beauty? I'm sorry, I can't. I love it so much it makes me sick, literally. But yeah, you got this one. And you have that slimy effect going on it, which is just perfect and lovely. So there you go, Kate Calkins. Whoops, my right is my left is my right. So yeah, it's a beautiful collection of just ooey gooey creepy crawlies. Here, I'll show you honestly, the green Dracolich is my favorite because I'm realizing that I like the dragons when they are posed down on the ground. But here's the green. Look at the detail on those wings. Hoo, hoo, hoo. So yeah, that's Boneyard. Available now. No more pre-order status. In stores today. Yay! Honestly, I'm not even being sarcastic. That to me, like, this is one of the collections I've been very excited about. Also, in that vein of discussion, I have mentioned last week, I mentioned that the Red Slad paint night kits, that is starting up in April, okay? That again is check with your local store, touch base with them to register now to get your paint night kit for the Red Slad. However, the next one coming up is going to be, and this is one of the opened up for photos deal, but the next one after that is going to be the Dire Troll. So you have seen the Dire Troll already, but this is one that's going to be done for May into June. So we have a slight overlap between the Red Slad and the Dire Troll paint night kits. But again, this is another one that will be coming soon. Same concept. You'll have your Vallejo paints included and everything along those lines. And you have a QR code that will take you to Den of Imagination's tutorial on how to paint this up, and we have some more things in mind for these events that WizKids is wanting to do to make this more of a community based, get everyone excited, get everyone involved. But the Dire Troll is what is following the Red Slad. Wanted to make sure that people knew that and had that information at hand. When are these available unpainted? That's a good question, Ron. Unpainted miniatures, the UPM, I'm actually going to show you next week. Okay, so rewind. The D&D Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures Wave 14, I'm going to be showing you highlights happening soon. Okay, oh, I have an echo happening. Oh, how long has that been happening? I am terribly sorry. Sorry about that, folks. Somehow the sound got knocked off of one of the monitors. Thank you, Wesley, for pointing that out very much. Terribly sorry about the echo. So I'll be showing you Wave 14 next week. Okay? And yes, if you want to get set up with these, make sure you register with your local game store. Again, go to wizkids.com, go to the events, and go to the tab itself, and it'll pop up upcoming events, and you can pick out which of the events you want to look into. So that is just something to keep in mind for registering, for finding stores. And let me see what else here. So we talked about the paint night kits. We talked about Boneyard. Now we have, you know, the actual title of the mini stream for the Wild Shape. So we have coming in April these lovely, and it's two sets. It's D&D Icons of the Realms, and oh, I'm so sorry about that, everyone. I wish I was someone. If there's ever a sound issue, let me know, okay? Because it was one of those things where it looked like something got knocked off and popped the sound back on one of the channels that I'm keeping an eye on. So we have the D&D Icons of the Realms, Spell Effects, Wild Shape, and Polymorph Set 1. And then we also have, same title, but this is also Set 2. So we're going to be taking a look at the miniatures in both of these sets. Now, these are the spell effects, also great with the other spell effects that are floating around. You have the Wall of Fire, Wall of Ice, you have the Tumultuous Templates, you have Oh, I just typed this out the other day. You have the conjurations, mighty conjurations, all of those other spell effects that have come out in the past. That this is part of that going together. What do you mean, question T-Rex? There is a T-Rex in Boneyard, the zombie T-Rex. Oh, is there a T-Rex in this one? Well, we're going to take a look here. So let's take a look first at set 1, and I will show you the box, which again, you have that front panel so you can see everything that is involved with this one. And here on the back, you see, I'm trying to get the glare off, you see the lovely renders. So in set 1, you get a cat, a giant boar, a giant octopus, a giant scorpion, a giant shark, a giant toad, a rat, and a tiger. So we're going to take a look at these miniatures first from this set. And, oof, let me take it out of the blister away from the microphone. So let's put this into overhead again. Here we go. So I'm going to take these out so you can get a closer look, but this is the blister they come in, and you can see they're all nicely packed. Hello, Shazam! But let's start with, we'll start with a shark. So, let me put you over here. Don't fall. But here, let's start with the shark. And as you can see, it actually, I love the coloration on this one. It definitely has that gray shark look, and you have it so it looks like it could be leaping out of the water for you. Clear base, again, remember the clear bases are going to become a standard practice. And it just has that lovely little curvature to its form, but definitely a good size. Where is my, hold on. Let me get for scale. Pardon. All right, and here is a medium mini for scale. So this is the giant shark. And this is set 1, okay? This is set 1. Mini shark, oh no, please don't get that song stuck in my head. And now, let's move over to the scorpion. So this is the giant scorpion. It's got that very menacing, it is a dark, it's like that dark charcoal, not quite fully black, a dark charcoal with gray highlighting to bring out that textures. And again, where'd it go? Here it is with the mini for scale, medium to this one. And I really like the plate texture here. So giant scorpion. And these are fantastic for, I mean, not even just for the spell effects. They'd also be good if you have stat blocks just set up if you wanted. So here we have the tiger. Nice vivid orange with the black striping. Fantastic pose. Got the tension in the shoulders, the ready to pounce look to it. And let's put the mini against that one again. Again, for your sense of scale with that one. What does a level need to die for? Oh God, fry minis. What level would a druid need to be to wild shape into Tiamat? I don't think there's a level for that yet. Could you imagine? Okay. Then we have, really trying to make sure that's not popping. Then we are going to have the boar. So here's the giant boar. You get the texture of the fur, the tusks poking out from around the mouth. You can almost hear it. Over 900. And here is the medium. Just to give you an idea. And both of these sets, each set is $44.99. Okay? Just so you know, each set is that price point. It's not for the two sets together. Want to make sure that's very clear. So that's the giant boar. And then here we have the giant octopus, which is this fantastic plum color. I was actually excited about the color of this one. It's not just like a simple grayish tone. It actually has this really vivid plum to it. And again, here we go for scale. All these textured details in it. Really is a lot of fun. Clear base still, so you get your labeling on the bottom here. Giant octopus. Ta-da! I do like the octopus. From this set, it's the scorpion and the octopus that I very much appreciate the look of for set 1. Those are definitely my 2 favorites, without question. Thanks for the tentacles, Morphinius. Oh god, Mind Flayer Plum. Could you imagine? So there's the giant octopus. Now we have, maybe, here we have the cat, which is just a simple, you know, domestic long hair style cat, but look at that. I like showing it off with the miniature. So medium mini in my one hand, cat in the other. It's also funny to see this in scale with the scorpion. Take a look at that. Little cat, big giant scorpion. But you get your cat. This, honestly, I could see this one getting a lot of use. I know a lot of people have cats as familiars in their games. People like the cats. And then finally, this one's also fun. Oh, sorry about that pop. Here we have the giant toad. But look, this is what I find hysterical, and I'll see if I can find the picture. I actually have a little toad in my garden who is this exact same size. And let me tell you, the detail is so spot on. It is fantastic. Like this toad comes out about this time every year, makes its presence known, and will hang out with me if I'm like weeding or something like that. I cannot believe all the details that are so similar in this miniature to the real live toad that is in my life. But I love that we have the extending tongue going out. It's just another fun detail here. The cat versus Tiamat fight. Oh dear lord. Cat is snack for Tiamat. Who are we kidding? But yeah, the toad is another fun one. So it's like, for me, it's the scorpion and the octopus and the toad are definitely the top. Brandon, the question about the Warlock tiles floor pack. You mean just having different size tiles? Again, that's something that I have relayed to the Warlock team. Let them know that that is something that has come up in discussion. I have no news on it though. But it has been mentioned. Let's see here. Raphael. Too soon to ask. Is there a possibility of being one of those Warlock of the Chain familiars and fine? That I cannot answer to, just because, like I said, there are things that are in development down the pipeline. So I'm not sure. I can't speak to that. It is a very good question. Let's see here. Yeah, sets 3, 4, 5. So that is set 1. Let me put this over here. You know how I am with my blisters. Bye! Let's take a look at set 2. So again, we're going to switch over. Okay, set A. Here we have set 2. Same style box and everything like that. It's just the different figures inside, obviously. And then the back, you get the same thing with the renders of the figures that are in this particular box. Again, each one is $44.99, coming out in April. And you have in this one, get the glare off there, the brown bear, dire wolf, giant ape, giant eagle, giant wolf spider, heck nope, an owl, and a polar bear. So we're going to take a look at these as well. The laser point. Oh, okay, I get it. I'm like, why are we talking about laser pointers? We're talking about the cat and Tiamat battle, a laser pointer. That could be very interesting. Definitely. And, oh, that's an interesting point. Raphael is saying that 1 is cooler, but more variety of creatures in 2. And you know, that, again, how would I recommend storing minis? That's actually a very good question. East Gaming UK. Let me flip to overhead here. I actually store my minis in a bunch of different ways. Honestly, not even kidding. You know, in the holidays when they come out with the different ways of storing ornaments, those are a fantastic way of storing miniatures because it gives you these compartments to work with. They're also really good for your warlock tiles. Just mentioning in that one, if you want to take your warlock tiles out of the standard carrying case. So I find those help. You can also do like curio cabinets. I have some of mine that are set up on old print tin type key things, shelvings, drawers downstairs, and it actually works. But just keep in mind there is a dust factor that can come into play. So first we're going to take a look at the giant eagle. But yeah, in terms of miniature storage, if you can find those ornament storage organization containers, those I find work out very, very well, especially if you are one of those types where you need to store and travel. Okay, I even use some tackle boxes for my medium and small miniatures. I'll put them into tackle boxes, and that came in really handy when I did D&D in a castle. And let me see here. Here is the giant eagle. I mean, you know me. I love a good wingspan with feathers. So I want you to make sure you see that. There's the underneath. Again, lofted up on the transparent base, so we have the in-flight. And just look at the back here. It is beautiful. You even have the tail fanning out. And this lovely mix of warm browns. So you have like this clay brown, it shifts into more of a walnut brown, and then it goes into like this honey maple brown tone, which is actually quite lovely. So that is this is set 2 that we're looking at now. If you've just jumped in, this is from set 2. Now let's go to the, he doesn't want to come out and play. All right, hold please. There we go. This is actually quite appropriate for other news that was released this week in the fandom. But here we go. Here we have the giant ape. I love this pose with the one arm down, knuckles on the ground, arm up, ready to swing. But you get the fantastic texture of the fur. Again, we're looking at this sort of charcoal gray color, so not full out black, pardon me, in tone. And then you're moving into lighter gray accents. Okay. So you have this fellow. Let's show you the belly and the feet through the plastic, which has a little bit of cardboard dust on it. There you go. So here's the great ape. I love the musculature on the back. Look at that. That comes shining through, no problem. It's an impressive ape mini. I like this one. And then some of these are in various forms as unpainted. In terms of the exact ones, we shall see. Let's see here. I'm just quickly looking. Polar bear. Here we go. Polar bear. So here you have the polar bear. Look at this fellow. Or gal, or really. Look at the texture of the polar bear fur. And you have the black claws, the black nose. Where's the for scale? Here's our fellow for scale. Pull it back just a little bit, keep it in focus. I like that there's a variety of sizes too. You do that one with the polar bear. Yeah, the gorilla is quite nice for King Kong. I will say that. You know, just mention in passing. Now we're going to take a look at the brown bear. Brown bear, what do you see?
I see a giant octopus looking at me.
I had to. Come on. Parents out there will get that one. So here we go again with the brown bear. Let me get into that sweet focus spot. So slightly smaller than the polar bear. Let me show those two together. Slightly smaller than the polar bear. Polar bear has a little bit more heft to it. But same thing, you're getting all that fantastic fur detail playing out in both of them. Brown bear has the one paw extended up and out for attack. And again, sense of scale with a medium. So that is the brown bear. from set 2. And now,
The direwolf.
so here we have the dire wolf. See right there on the bottom. And I love this paint fade. It goes from this lighter gray up into the darker gray. Again, fantastic fur texture all the way through the miniature. Open, snapping, like ready to snap its jaws shut type of mouth. Vivid yellow eyes. Quite frankly, if I was a ranger, I'd want this one as my friend, so to speak. But here you go again for sense of scale between the two. And like I said before, yes, we're calling these the polymorph and spell effects. However, these could have a lot of use just in general for campaign use. If it's an encounter and you want your party to encounter the dire wolf, why not? You would have that available. I don't like this one. If you want to know which mini I don't like, it's this one, simply because it's a really good creepy crawly. So here you have the giant wolf spider. Okay, giant wolf spider. 15 of 15. Here you go for scale. Oh, it's ugly. Spiders creep me out, especially like, big ones. I'm not a fan of spiders. Slight arachnophobia. But again, you have like the little posing with the legs. Some are secured on the ground, some are lifted up. This almost has this look of like it's about to jump out at you. Seeing at the face, you see the 8 eyes going right there. There is texture to it as well throughout the body. Will cats attack that spider? I mean, I have 3 of them here. We could test it and see. But yeah, that's the giant wolf spider. Who else do we have left? And then finally we have, this is actually my favorite. And I know, there's some cool ones out of this set, but I love the owl. The owl is, okay, bye-bye, blister. The owl, because look at this, the face on it. It's this beautiful, beautiful owl. And again, medium miniature for scale. Lifted up on the clear stem. Spiders have. But is it a radioactive spider? I don't know. But here again, I want you to see you have the texture of the wings with the feathers. And I like this curved effect going, like it's just about to extend its wings up and open. It's a beautiful pose. It really is. It's a lovely sculpt for this owl, which is honestly why I think I've connected most with this one from set 2. I like the owl best. And then it'd probably be the great ape after that one. But those are all of the fantastic figures from both of these sets. So you end up with a very good collection. Like I said, not just if it's a matter of you have your druid, if you're doing your polymorph spell and everything like that. These also come in very handy just for getting yourself set up for other encounters if you need something to represent that creature in and of itself and just pull up the stat blocks and go. So, wouldn't that be a thing? Get your terrarium set up and just pop those in there and they're your pets. You probably, especially with a scorpion. The scorpion is very convincing in my book. But yeah. So it's a good combination. Again, you can take a look at the 2 separate sets as to what you get in each one. I've honestly been seeing some very different reactions. Some people prefer set 2 over set 1 or vice versa. But it is, you get your 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, I believe, is our total sets here. So it's a good, let's get them all in frame here. It's a good variety. Again, you have your creepy crawlies, you have your in-flight, you have your sea-bound. So it's fun. It's just, a little bit more variety. And again, it's not just limited to spells or that type of thing only. You could very easily get these out in the open for other uses beyond just like your druid decides to turn into the giant shark, which that could be fun. Or something along those lines. Where's the parrot? Oh, Mike. I don't know. Yeah, that's just it. Like, you're going to be seeing a lot of these sculpts are getting more and more dynamic. You're going to see this fantastic musculature showing through now with the sculpts. I have been, every single time a new set is coming through, I have been excited seeing these. And you know me, I paint miniatures, I collect miniatures. This is a fun thing to see how all these extra details are now being put in and incorporated into, especially with the pre-painted. I mean, they are just, to me, these are chef kiss. I love seeing all these miniatures. I mean, again, the octopus, look, just the texture and the tentacles, even with the suckers. Look at those suckers. Hello. And the other thing I want to talk to, and I know I didn't mention that, is, again, there is good weight to these miniatures. They're not a light, flimsy plastic where you put on the table and it's going to go skittering across. They have a nice feel and heft to them when in hand. Familiars coming. I have not heard of familiars coming as of yet, but I would not rule anything out. Let's put it that way. Let me see here. So that, yeah. And of course I just threw the blisters that way, so we'll leave it to that. But again, these are going to be in stores soon in April. So right now you can get them on pre-order. Check in the description below for all that information. Contact your brick and mortar store, your FLGS. Find out if they're offering the pre-orders. You can also go to dndmini.com and get your pre-orders placed there. But honestly, to me, this is a worthwhile pair of sets to have. Just because of the fact that you can use it for your players, you can use it for yourself as a DM for encounters. There's a lot of flexibility and use for all of these creatures that I just shared with you from both of those sets. Let me see here. Anything else question-wise in the chat? Yes. And again, if you don't have a local store near your Millard, again, dndmedia.com. You also have shop.wizkids.com, as well as Amazon and some other online options. So you can always check online and see what's available too. Just remember, you're going to have to factor in shipping as well. One reason I absolutely the Wardlings line is because the PC minis come with Leonardo, I'm a fan of Wardlings too because of all those animal companions. They are fantastic. And that's another thing. Like, if you have kids and you want to try and get your kids into the campaign, the Wardlings are such a fantastic way of doing that because the kids just like glom right onto the fact that it's a child. It's not an adult figure, and they really take to it. I've actually, I've run a couple games for children using Wardlings, and it was a fantastic response for the few times I've done it. Is that a mind? Oh, in the background here, this one. Yes, the Mind Witness. Let me flip this back over to overhead so you can get a better look. This is a Mind Witness, and this is from Boneyard. All right, this Boneyard collection is releasing today in stores. So this is part of the brick booster option, where you can get a random pull of 4 figures, either a large or huge, and then 3 small medium combinations. So that is what that is. Question, Papercraft Tiamat like those houses? She's big enough. Oh, Fry, I cannot speak to that one at all, but very interesting comment. Let's have some fun. So before we go away, before I bring this to a close, let's just put her back up here. So yes, this is pretty much going to bring it to a close for today. We're at the top of the hour almost. For everyone who hung out with me for the hour, thank you so much. It has been a fantastic stream today, and apologies again for the echo effect. If that ever happens, please always let me know about audio, because I didn't realize that something had been knocked out of whack on one of my windows. So please always just pipe up if that ever happens. I honestly don't take any insult to it. I'd rather know and fix it as quickly as I possibly can. But yes, so remember, Tiamat, as she was just announced on IGN, she is available for pre-order, and she is a significant size miniature, okay? It is not something to take lightly in terms of how big she is. So I'm gonna pull her out here, and we're going to do, let me see here. I want to hide you too. So again, you have it where she's a decent size here, as you can see right there. The one that is smaller, that is our Tyranny of Dragons Tiamat, which is on back order now. Will be coming out soon if you'd prefer to get something a little more budget friendly. But the Tiamat that is up for pre-order now, she is a large and in charge Big Mama miniature that we are expecting for September. Okay, but the adult green dragon is the next one to be coming out. The blue dragon is coming out soon. That is still up for pre-order. The adult blue. Then it'll be the green, and that'll wrap up our adult chromatics. And then we have Tiamat coming down the runway after the chromatics have been wrapped up. So just something to keep in mind. Let me flip over to here again in terms of when it comes to scale for this particular Tiamat, because I know when you see her next to her previous Tyranny of Dragon selves, it gives you some sense of scale. But again, remember, her height is basically from the point of my underarm to my wrist. Okay, that is her technical height of measurement that we have right now for dimensions. In terms of wingspan, that is from here where my crystals are on my necklace to the tip of my middle finger. That's her wingspan. She's a significantly large mini. Let's just put it that way. So yes, that's something where I was excited and happy to get word out about this with you all. Again, she is not a limited edition miniature either. This is something where, because of the response we've been seeing already in just the past couple days, there will be other reprints of her coming out. But should you want to get her sooner rather than later, in other words, this first print, you do want to make sure that you are getting your pre-orders in sooner rather than later when it comes to this Tiamat, Gargantuan Tiamat. Okay? But she will be coming back out and back around again because we're seeing such a fantastic reaction to her. Anytime there is something that people are getting excited about, we definitely take that into account. Anytime people are saying, hey, this is really cool, we take that into account. We really do. It's great to see the feedback. It's great to see the reactions. Like I said, the fact a lot of you are like, well, what about Unpainted? That's something I can very easily like, hey, I was being asked about Unpainted today, because I do relay that information back to the team and let them know, like, this, this is exciting, but this is also another thing that came up in discussions. Just, hey, heads up, just so you know. So that, I think, oh, and then the paint night kits. I'm like, was that everything? No. Then the paint night kits, don't forget, right now we have the red slot. You need to make sure you are registering with your game store, and these are worldwide. The Manticore and the Ogre Zombie, they were US only, but now we have these open worldwide. While supplies last, stores are keeping in account safe practices on how to handle this. So make sure you contact your store, find it out what it is that they will be doing for these particular events, and move forward from there. If you want more about each of these paint nights, all you need to do is go to whizkids.com, go to the event tab, click on the event tab, and then you can go and you can see the various options for the paint night events. WizKids is also taking a look at other things that we can start doing. Question, take this off stream. What's the best way to get in contact with me and WizKids regarding making video and promoting video content? Press at whizkids.com. Just email. I would recommend that as an email. East Gaming UK, if I'm interpreting your question as I am interpreting it. So yes, don't forget the paint night events. The kits, they are coming down the pipeline, and this time they are worldwide. The Wild Shapes and Polymorph sets coming out in April. You have 2 sets, $44.99 MSRP. Well, this is in the description below, especially on YouTube. I know it should be in there, at least hopefully it's in there. Fingers crossed. I will be going back in after I say goodbye to you here and updating all the information. That usually takes me about a half hour to an hour, depending on what I have going on with post-production. So do be sure to check back to get other links and other bits of information that may have been shared that didn't have a chance to get into the descriptions as of yet. So next week, we're sticking with D&D, but we're shifting over to UPM. I am going to unbox the Dire Troll Paint Night kit so you can see everything that goes into that particular kit, as well as featuring some of the highlighted unpainted miniatures from Wave 14, which will be coming out end of April. So we'll be taking a look at our unpainted miniatures for D&D Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures Wave 14. So I think that covers everything. I think that is truly it. Again, if you are new here and you haven't yet, make sure you either follow on Twitch or subscribe here on YouTube. You can also hit that notification bell on YouTube so you know when things go live, such as Mini Mayhem, which happens every Wednesday, as well as Much Ado About Gaming, which happens on Tuesdays, both at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And we are starting to ramp up, and you may have noticed that we did something for HeroClix HeroClix called HeroClix University, which is another show that we're hoping to get into rotation and out there as a means for our HeroClix community to have a means to connect and contact and chat about what is happening in HeroClix land. I think now, yes, my darlings. Yeah, I think that's pretty much covering it. So, to all of you, I hope you have a lovely day. I hope this has helped you get through the middle of your week. Again, check out our socials. You can go to our whizkids.io/WK Linktree link, and that'll show you all the links that are relevant and pertinent and all things WizKids. And until next week, I can't wait to see you all and chat about what we have coming down the pipeline with our unpainted minis, because there's some gorgeous ones that I can't wait to share with you. But I'm going to wrap this up the way I do every single time. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And I'll see you on the flip side. Take care, everyone. Bye.